tell me about your relationship with Tinyiko and some of the successes she's had here and possibly how hard it's been.
Okay, so we were approached by Steve, who was an old member of our school governing body years ago, and he just arrived and said that he's found this prodigy canoeist, young girl who lives in Soweto, and they've taken her on at the Dubulamanzi Canoe Club and now obviously want to give her a good education, so looking to get some kind of partnership going with Parktown Girls. So they were going to provide her with some kind of scholarship to come here. So we had a discussion with them, and I have no problem with that. So we agreed, and we took her on, and that was all great until we realised how big a gap she had. Obviously, her primary school education was not. Did not really lead into this kind of high school education. So there's a lot of gaps in terms of her academic ability, knowledge, things like that. So it was going to take a lot for her to narrow that gap, a lot of hard work, a lot of effort. And I think this whole environment was very new and different, something she hadn't really experienced before. So we watched her for a while, and then it came to my attention that she wasn't really even participating in the extramural program, although she came here as, being somebody who would really add value in terms of that. So when we investigated a little bit further, we realised that there were other challenges. So although providing her with a scholarship for school fees was one thing, I don't think they had thought about the other things, like transport, for example. So I think it's been a learning experience for everybody involved, that you can't just place a child in a school with a scholarship and school fees and everything's going to be fine.
That's really indicative of possibly a problem in South Africa.
Absolutely.
Trying to pull up grades of kids that grow up in different communities.
Yes, and throwing a little bit of money at it is not necessarily going to solve the problem. So we've got to look at the whole picture, the social aspects and all of those things. I think it's taken an enormous amount of something inside her. She had the courage to make a meeting to come and see me the other day. For whatever reason, children are scared to come into the principal's office. I don't know why. But she made a meeting to come and see me, and at break, and just to tell me that she'd made this team and what she needs to do, and how she must go about doing that, because now she's going to miss some days of school. And although she doesn't speak openly to you, I think it took an enormous amount of courage for her to do that. So we've seen a lot of growth in her in the short space of time that she's been here. So yeah, I think it is going to be a success story going forward, although it's taken a lot of input from a lot of people.
So we met Tinyiko when she first joined us in January, and she was very nervous. On her first day, I remember her coming to the sports office. I think that was her first sort of angle, sport, and she was very nervous. She seemed nervous, but she didn't say so. I remember for the first 2 weeks, she would come and ask for a soccer ball at break, and then slowly she started making friends with the soccer kids, because then they saw she had a soccer ball and then they were playing with her at break. So I think sport was definitely her avenue to make friends at Parktown, which I think it is for a lot of kids. And at the Interhouse Gala in the first week, we saw very quickly how she was a very strong swimmer. And I tried my very best to rope her into the swimming team, but canoeing was her first love. So she really is a talented young athlete. It comes naturally to her. She's extremely determined. I think that's what makes her so successful. People can give her the opportunities, but it's her that puts in the hard work. And she really has done that.